Hey guys, this is Abhishek from gadgetsreviews.com, and today we are here at the Micromax event, and Micromax has launched a new phone under their new branding, which is called U, and this phone is called Yureka, to be very precise as far as the name of the phone is concerned. As you can see, this phone is not running the kind of UI which you might have seen on the previous Micromax phone. Again, it is going to be called Yureka only, not Micromax Yureka, but again this company is a sister concern of Micromax, so we are going to address it as Micromax Yureka phone. This is how the phone look like. In terms of build quality and design, the phone is definitely good. However, the design is not something which is very impressive. It is not something revolutionary as far as design is concerned. It looks nice, it feels pretty light when you hold it in one hand. It has a IPS LCD display, and it is a 5.5-inch display panel which we have on this phone. Color protection on the display panel is also good, and viewing angles are also decent. You can see the display from almost any angle without any issues. I would say viewing angles are actually good. At the back side, you can see that the finishing at the back side is again matte finish, and it is a rubberized feel which you will get once you hold the phone in one hand. And again, as far as the price is concerned, the price of this phone is the most interesting thing, because it is only priced at 8,999. This phone will be available on Amazon.in, and it will be available there exclusively, and you will have to basically register for this phone in order to buy it. The registration will start from 19th of December, 2 p.m. And when we talk about the specification, we can see that we have a 13 megapixel camera at the back, which is an autofocus camera. It can record high definition video as well. We do have secondary microphone for noise cancellation. We have LED flash for low light and torch, and on this side we have the power and sleep key. This is actually a plastic button, gives you decent amount of feedback. And on this side we have the volume rocker, which is a pretty big button, and this one also gives you decent amount of feedback. On the top, on the front, we can see that we have the 5 megapixel fixed focus front camera. We have nice metallic earpiece, and we have an LED notification light as well, which can also change colors. As far as touch capacitive buttons are concerned, they are there on the front at the bottom, and they do have backlit LED, and they are definitely slightly different in terms of the design, in terms of the look and feel. As far as the front UI is concerned, this is how the home screen look like. As you can see, this phone is kind of different in terms of UI. It is running Cyanogen mod, which is going to be exclusive with this phone only in India, because OnePlus One has already faced a ban in India as of now. They cannot sell any phone with Cyanogen mod ROM, but Micromax can with this Yureka phone, and it will be only there on this phone. It will not be there on any other phone which you will buy in India. We have a loudspeaker at the back side as well. Again, this is not a very great design, because this will definitely get blocked when you place it on a table. And as per our testing, before doing this review, I have noticed that there is slight amount of muffling of sound which happens when you play a video and place the device like this on a table, and the sound does get blocked to an extent, but not completely. As far as front is concerned, you can see that the front has a black bezel, which is again looking good, again does not cause any problem, and the bezels are definitely kind of thick. We have Snapdragon 615 quad core CPU on this device, which is 1.5 gigahertz octa-core CPU which we have on this phone, which is the latest hardware. And this phone with this hardware supports 4G as well. So it will support 4G completely in India with full 4G support. It will support FDD LTE. It will also support TDD LTE. One thing which I can say is that the finishing at the backside is kind of something which is kind of similar to what we have seen on OnePlus One. So I have a OnePlus One over here, and you can compare these two devices as of now in terms of the look and feel. I can say I have a better feel. The kind of material which they have given at the backside, the sandstone, is actually very good to hold in one hand. It gives you very nice grip, a better grip as compared to this one. Again, this material is something which they have tried to copy, I would say, and it is not the sandstone, but they call it with some other name. I do not remember that name as of now, but this material is again not that thing which you see on OnePlus One. It is some kind of plastic which has some kind of texture which gives you a nice feel. Again, this is not bad, I would say. It has a very good grip when you hold it in one hand. On the front, we can see that we have a pretty big display, and this display is something which you may not be able to use with one hand, because it is a 5.5-inch display, which is kind of big for one hand, but you can always get used to it. We will take a look over the software UI, and before we do that, one thing I would like to say is that the phone does not feel heavy, and this is, I know I'm repeating this, but the phone is definitely very light. The phone does not have a removable battery. Okay, it does have a removable battery, and I can just show you the same. So we have just removed the micro SIM, the micro USB port connectivity. Over here you can have the micro USB port for data syncing and charging. You have a primary microphone over there, and you have a back cover which you can remove. So once you remove the back cover, you will see the SIM card slot. So we have two SIM card slot on this device. This is a dual SIM phone. We have the SIM card slot 1, the SIM card slot 2, both will accept a micro SIM, and we have a micro SD memory card slot as well on this device to expand the storage. We have 2500 mAh battery, which could have been bigger because again we have a bigger battery over here on OnePlus One, and again maybe this kind of compromise Micromax have done because of the price at which they are selling this phone. So it is having a 2500 mAh battery, which may not be sufficient for this device for 1 day of battery backup, and we will confirm that once we do the full review. As far as storage is concerned, the Micromax Yureka phone has a 16 GB of internal storage and it has 2 GB of RAM. And if we take a look over the front, this is how the lock screen looks like. Once we unlock the phone, we can see that the UI is very responsive. There is no lag of any kind. The UI is very much responsive and it is kind of instant in terms of the response. Touchscreen response is also very good. It is a very responsive touchscreen which you can see on this phone. This is how the phone dial looks like, which is again kind of stock Android in terms of the look and feel. It is not like the one which we have seen on OnePlus One in terms of the UI. So UI is kind of enhanced and it is definitely Cyanogen mod, but they have actually customized certain things but not all the things. So this is how the phone dial look like, and you can actually dial a number but you cannot make a video call from this phone. This is something which I would like to tell you. Let's take a look over the messaging application, and this is how the messaging application look like. On the messaging application front, we can see that the interface is kind of stock Android because the keyboard is again not very much customized as we have seen, but this keyboard is pretty good to type. You do have swipe to type supported, and continuous input typing is supported on this phone, which is very good thing. The keyboard keys are pretty big in size. You get a pop-up as well whatever key you are pressing. But let's take a look over the notification center, and this is how the notification center look like. You have toggles over here on the top, which is looking different in terms of the UI. Again, the UI is kind of different over here. What we have seen on Cyanogen mod ROM, which we have on OnePlus, the notification center is definitely kind of different over here and here. As you can see, there are two different kind of notification center with different kind of icons, and the toggles are definitely different over here and slightly different over here in terms of the design only. And we do have settings setting shortcut over here. We do have support for automatic brightness as well. Let's go into settings and take a look what we have as far as setting UI is concerned. And if we take a look over the settings UI, the settings UI is also kind of different. It is kind of changed in some way to actually make it look different. Only the icons have been changed. Otherwise, the complete UI is kind of same, which you might have seen on OnePlus. So let's take a look over the version of Android first of all, which is running on this phone. This phone should be running the KitKat, and that is there. As you can see, it is running on KitKat 4.4.4. and you will get Android Lollipop as well on this device, as Micromax has promised, and you will get Android Lollipop on this device much faster than any other device, and this is something which they have promised. So let's see, maybe the Android Lollipop will come to this device by January end. Let's see when it happens. When it comes to storage, I can show you the storage scenario as well. So we have 16 GB of internal storage, out of which approximately 12.8 GB is available to user, and again out of that 12.62 GB is right now available. So on the 16 GB model which you will buy on this phone, and this is only the model which is available, there is only one storage model available as of now, and you will get approximately 12.62 GB available to the user, where you can install application store, picture, videos and other data. You do have support for SD card as well, so you can insert an SD card and expand the storage of this device as well. Let's take a look over the tethering option. So you do have support for Wi-Fi hotspot option, so you can create a Wi-Fi hotspot using the 3G SIM card which you can insert into this device, and both the SIM card slots support 3G, although the first SIM card slot will support 4G. The second SIM card slot does not support 4G. And when we take a look over application scenario, this device has 2 GB of RAM, and let me just show you the current status of the RAM. So out of 2 GB of RAM, approximately 1.3 GB of RAM is free, which is making this device pretty responsive, and there is no lag of any kind which I can notice on the UI, which is a good thing. As far as location services are concerned, we do have location toggle over here, so you can use GPS navigation as well on this device, even when this device is kind of budget price, I would say. You do have different kind of themes, and there are two themes which they are releasing by default, which are going to be loaded on this phone by default. The first one is called the U theme and the second one is called the Holo theme. So you can actually select in between these two themes and these themes will come pre-installed on this phone. We do have the option of customizing the lock screen as well. As you can see, we have the screen security, some button actions, you can actually change things. One thing which is kind of missing over here, which I have seen on OnePlus, is that on OnePlus you can actually select in between these touch capacitive buttons which are there within the screen or on the body of the phone. That is something which you cannot do on this one, because you will have touch capacitive buttons only on the body of the phone. You cannot actually use touch capacitive buttons within the screen, and this is a change over here. Apart from this, you do have the option to actually change the notification drawer, how you would like to see that, how you would like to basically behave, how would you like to see it behave. Basically, you can have an auto close behavior, you can actually customize things which you would like to add to the notification drawer, and all these kind of customizations are provided in this particular phone. You do have a customization for the status bar as well, in which you can change the clock style, you can change the battery circle style. So it is right now circle, you can actually change it to text so that you have a battery indication in terms of text, which is good. And you do have other customizations options also available. You will also see some notification counter over here in case you check this option. So there are a lot of customizations options available on this device. As far as lock screen is concerned, as far as home screen is concerned, different kind of icons you can change. You can change the text as well on the phone. Everything can be changed, and this is the best thing about this phone, because they are providing you full support as far as software customization is concerned. And in case you would like to root this phone, in case you would like to do certain things with this phone, you can do that, and Micromax still will provide warranty for that. So you can actually get that phone repaired for free. In case you break the phone while rooting it, they will basically repair it for free. And when it comes to the application drawer, we do have an application drawer over there, and that will come when you tap over here. Again, the application drawer icon is also kind of customized as per the logo, and this is how the applications will look like, which will come pre-installed. We have Google Chrome, which will come pre-installed. You have a download manager, you have a file manager, email application is also there. Some Google application is coming pre-installed. Again, one thing which I really like is that as far as bloatware is concerned, we have seen a lot of bloatware on some of the Micromax devices which we have seen earlier. Kind of bloatware you get on this device is only going to be this thing, which is called the U Universe, which is kind of the Micromax application, which will basically give you some certain content which you can download and some other movie related content. Apart from that, there is no other bloatware on this device, and the available amount of storage is also good enough for a device like this, which has 16 GB of storage. You have. So one thing I would like to correct here is that we do have option to have the touch capacitive buttons within the display. So once you tap over here, you can see the touch capacitive buttons will come within the display. They will not be on the body. So we have a theme application over here with which you can download different themes and apply them on this phone. You need to have a U account, and you can also create a Cyanogen account if you have not created that already, and you can download these themes for free and apply it on this phone. So here we have the camera UI. As you can see, this is how the camera UI look like. It is the same camera UI which we have seen on the Cyanogen Mod ROM phone which we have tested earlier. This is the OnePlus one which we are going to photograph. Again, OnePlus one is going to be difficult to be bought in India from now on after the High Court decision which has been rolled out. So I can show you the clarity as far as camera is concerned on this device, and I can just place the OnePlus one over here, and I will take a photo of OnePlus one from the Micromax Yureka phone which we have with us, and let me just show you the clarity for the same. So here we have the device, and this is how the camera UI look like. Let me just take the photo. You do have tap to focus, and autofocus is also supported. You do have the option of changing different kind of modes while taking a photo. You can actually have different kind of filters being applied. Let me just first of all show you the photo which I have just clicked. So this is how the photo look like. I would say this photo has been taken in low light, and the camera clarity which I can see in this photo is decent enough. It's not that good. I would say if you compare it with OnePlus one, this camera is not that great. It has a 13 megapixel camera, but the details which I can see on the photos are not that great, but decent enough for low light shots. For daylight shot, you will have much better clarity, and we will also put some photo samples after the end of this review, so you can get an idea about the clarity in those photo samples. Let me just toggle to the front camera. So this is how the front camera UI look like, and I can just take a selfie of mine. It does have face detection as well, which is good. And I've just taken my selfie, and I can show you the same. So the front camera is pretty good, I would say. Even in low light it is giving pretty good colors, and details are also nice in this particular photo which I've captured. So front camera details are good and the clarity is also good. Let me just take one more photo of the OnePlus One from the rear camera and show you the performance of the rear camera again. Front camera is definitely a good camera which you will have on this device. And again we have the OnePlus One over here. So I've just taken the photo and I can show you the same. This is how the photo looks like. The photo looks good again, but in terms of clarity it does not show me great amount of clarity. I can read the text but it is not very clear. I cannot read that minute text written below the Cyanogen logo. I can just take a photo one more time to show you the details. Maybe this time I go closer. So this is a macro shot which we have taken when we were like close to the subject, and this time you can read the details there below the logo. Again, the camera is a pretty decent camera for a device like this with this much of price. 13 megapixel camera it is. It can give you very good shots in daylight. In low light you can expect decent shots. In terms of thickness, as per the information which we have got, it is around 6 millimeter on the edges and it is slightly thick over here in the middle of it. So approximately 8.8 millimeter is the thickness of this phone. So as you can see right now we are playing a YouTube video from our channel, and this is a high definition video which we are playing, and let me just check at what resolution it is getting played. It should get played at 720p as you can see. So it is getting played at high definition resolution, which is good. I have increased the volume to full so that you can get an idea about the sound as well. Sound is something which is not very loud on this device, and this is not a very good thing, I would say. Loudspeaker is not very loud. It is actually at the back side. You can always amplify it by placing your hand like this, but again sound which comes out from this device is not very loud. I can play this video again for you and you will get an idea about the sound clarity as of now. I would say this is very low in terms of the volume. So sound is definitely low on this device, which comes out from the loudspeaker. Viewing angles are good. You can see the display from almost any angle without any issues. As you can see, it is an IPS LCD display panel which does give you pretty decent viewing angles. So we have a high definition resolution on this 5.5-inch display. This is a 720x1280 resolution display, and even if you take a closer look over the display, you will not see pixelation. But if you open a document with large amount of text which you are reading on this device, then you might notice slight amount of pixelation. But again, that will not happen most of the time. So display does not feel pixelated even when you take a closer look. This is Abhishek from gadgetsnews.com, and today we are actually doing a quick benchmark review of this device, and we will also play a game. So with this much of limited data bandwidth I have installed 4 applications over here, and I will show you the benchmark score for this phone, and I will also show you the hardware. First of all, let's take a look of the hardware which we have on this phone. The model name on the device is Yureka, and we have a ARM V7 processor clocked at 1.5 GHz. It is an octa-core CPU powered by Qualcomm, and it is the Snapdragon 615 chipset. We have the display resolution which is 720x1280, and we have Adreno 405 GPU on this device, which is also capable of running high definition games. When it comes to the sensor, we have accelerometer sensor, proximity sensor, light sensor, gyroscope sensor. We do not have magnetic field sensor on this device, but GPS navigation will work fine even without the magnetic field sensor. Let's take a look over the benchmark score which we have got on Antutu. So on Antutu we have got a score of 26573, which is a pretty decent score for a device like this, which is priced only 9,000 rupees. And again, it does support 4G connectivity, and it has pretty good hardware specification, which includes an octa-core CPU and 2 GB of RAM. So let's take a look what kind of score we get on Ninamark, and then we will play this game. So we have Ninamark over here, and I will just read Ninamark benchmark utility for you, and we will see how much frames are there when we run this benchmark utility. We should be able to get an idea how the overall gaming performance we will get on this device. So we will get the score of FPS, and that should actually define to an extent that what kind of clarity you can expect when you run high definition games on this phone. So let's give some time to this utility and let this utility complete the test. I would say there are no frame drops which I can notice on this device till now, and the benchmark score which we have got is 51.6 FPS, which is a pretty decent score for a device like this. And that's all from us as far as the quick hands-on review of the Yureka phone coming from Micromax. This is a pretty good phone, I would say, for the price. They are giving very good hardware specification for the price with 4G connectivity. You have a pretty decent camera at the rear, good camera at the front, and when it comes to the display clarity, the display is also good viewing angles. The overall response from the phone in terms of the UI is also very good. It is a responsive UI, it does not lag at all. The overall form factor of the phone is also good. It has a pretty big display of 5.5 inch, which should be good for your multimedia and entertainment needs. So in all, I would like to give a thumbs up to this phone, which is called the Yureka phone, or which comes from the Micromax new brand company, which is called You. Do let us know if you have any specific question for this device. We would love to help you. You can like this video help you by clicking the like button below. You can subscribe to our YouTube video channel for more videos like this by clicking the subscribe button below. Thanks for watching this video. This is Abhishek signing off. Thank you.